What's going on, everybody? Thank you for coming to Comics Unleashed on a Saturday night. Spending a little bit of your time seeing what we bought this week. As always, Jamie J. Dub with Sal Slab Guy, Dan Kelly, Uncle Gary. Sal, I know you're in the middle of something, so Dan, tell them where they can find you when you're not here doing Codex things.
Well, they can find me on Dan Kelly Art. As I always say, I post a few times a week. Haven't been posted as much recently, but going to get back to it because I got a bunch of stuff saved on my phone to post, sketch covers and stuff I did for people that I couldn't post till I gave it to them. So I'll post those. Just posted the inked version of the Two-Face drawing, working on the inks for the Phantom drawing so I could post that. So we'll keep doing all that stuff. Just did an unboxing video for all the all the sketch covers I got back that I sent to CGC that Sal did with me. So I'll post that on there too after it, of course, is already posted to Codex.
Yes,
and
I have them right here.
And then there's the guy beside me here that we say say that when he does push-ups, he's not pushing himself up, he's pushing the world down. And what was I said the other day? It's
it's an earth down.
The boogeyman, when he's going to bed, checks under his bed for Chuck Norris. When Chuck Norris goes to bed, he checks under his bed for Uncle Gary.
Well, he wouldn't do that if he hadn't caught me with his wife that one time.
One time.
Just that once.
Just that once. Told me never to let it happen again.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite Chuck Norris jokes is one that, or the only one that I can always remember, is every time Chuck Norris walks by a Best Buy, he burns it to the ground because he knows in his heart that the total gym for $89.95, three payments of easy payments of $89.95 is the Best Buy that you can get.
Wow. Chuck has feelings.
I bought that.
The total gym or the Chuck Norris stuff?
The total gym.
Oh, because I bought the Chuck Norris books.
Yeah.
Which are on there. And then there's the one that's the Chuck, it's like the Chuck Norris facts, and then like the second one, the Chuck Norris facts. And then there was either the second one or the third one was Chuck Norris and Mr. T facts. Like that. It was really funny.
I love Chuck Norris and dodgeball.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Richard, you asked this on YouTube today. Mine for the past 3-4 years has just increased significantly, especially when it comes to indie. It's just been they've been put a lot of places is I would say coming to a renaissance in the idea of they're literally just booming again.
Yeah, same with me. Like when I was a kid, it was Marvel and DC, and then and there were other things that I would occasionally buy something from First Comics or something like that. When Image hit, I bought all the Image stuff, bought a bunch of the Valiant stuff, would buy Dark Horse stuff. And then I just, I kind of tailed off of indie stuff for a few years. I'd get some things, but not a ton. And I feel like now, I get just as much indie stuff as I do Marvel and DC. Some weeks it's more.
Yeah. I think I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
I get my share, that's for sure. But you know where you can find them? You can find them at Comic Logic. That's where you go. Get all your indie stuff and your Audis and your Marvels and your DCs. Comic Logic, we're Loudoun County, Virginia's only comic book store. If you're in the Northern Virginia area, come in, see us, say hi. We've got a couple really good events coming up. Well, there's my timer telling me that I have to be on Codex. It's a little late, though. So come see us. We have next week, we'll be set up at Big Lick Comic Con, which is at the Dulles Expo Center near the airport here. So we'll be there on on Saturday and Sunday, 31st of May and the 1st of June. And then the week after that, on Sunday, June 8th, we'll have the one and only Jim Calafiore in our store, in Comic Logic, signing autographs for you. There you go. He'll have his Ned Lord of the Pit self-published book there for you to buy. If you buy a sketch cover, he will do quick sketches for you. If you want something more intricate, It'll, you'll have to pay a little bit for that, but come see it. There you go, Jim Calipari. And that's a great book. I look forward to getting Ned Lord of the Pit too. So I haven't gotten that yet. Dan has it. It's fun. Just a normal guy wakes up and he's a lord of hell. Hilarity, as Mighty Mike would say, hilarity ensues. So come to those events. We would love to see you. Also at Comic Logic, you can catch us there every Wednesday when we get that 4-color ink. We get it right in the bloodstream, baby. Told you a million times. Reading comic books make you strong. Do some push-ups too. That helps. So come see us. Also, some love to that great site, Comic Character of the Day. Dan Kelly is running it now. Archduke Kevy founded it. It's the reason that we are acquainted. We have Dan's always doing the great character of the day. He's doing a great question of the day. Random panels of the day are not to be missed. And then between me and Talking Geek, we usually will supply you at least one, sometimes even 2 covers of the day. So please tune into that. We would love to have you on that site that acquainted us. But acquainted us, what did it acquaint us to? Acquainted us to this great channel. And this great channel couldn't have been here if the founder up there, the creator, the master builder himself, had not had a vision one day that haunted him, that he was going to create a site where we could have like-minded individuals talk comics, spew the contents of their comic-addled brains out into the airwaves for public consumption. That vision came from the one and only J-Dub.
Thank you for that, Uncle Gary. I always love it. And real quick, just to throw it out there too, Comic Character Day is the thing that inspired Comic Character of the Week, where we break down everything for you live Thursday nights.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
And what's up, Mobius, from across the sea?
Yes, buddy.
Across the pond. Thank you for
joining. Well, yeah, you know the spiel. You can find us at thecodexstation.com. If you're one-stop shop for everything Codex, get some merch to meet the team. Let us know what you like and don't like. And find us on all the
socials that we have, every single one of them, positively, absolutely dripping with infection of all the socials. And we'd like nothing better than to give them to you, baby.
That's right.
Well, how's everyone doing?
Okay.
Doing all right. Sal and I watching a dog-ass hockey game tonight.
Yeah.
Did you see the USA, though? Did you watch that this morning?
No. Was that on this morning?
It was on at 8 o'clock this morning.
Oh, I thought that was tomorrow morning. Damn.
Well,
okay.
Tomorrow morning. Hello, Pam.
Hey, Pam.
Pam, just
Pam.
for the sports segment.
Yeah, just for the sports segment.
Tomorrow morning, or tomorrow, I think at 2, the USA plays for the championship, the World Championship, which we haven't done since the 50s.
Yeah.
And, so we beat Sweden 6-2. Had them 4-0 after 2, and Canada got bounced out by Denmark a few days ago.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Canada was leading 1-0, and then with 2 minutes left and 17 seconds, Denmark's got their goalie pulled and they tie the game. So now we're even strength, and with 49 seconds left, Denmark scores and beats Canada and sends them home.
Nice.
Embarrassing. So we play.
Evening.
What's up?
We'll play Sweden tomorrow for the championship.
All right, 2 o'clock. I'll make sure I catch
NHL Network.
Well, did you see that of all the things the NFL voted on, that they voted to allow NFL players to play in the Olympics when they put flag football in it, which pretty much guarantees the USA is going to dominate in flag football.
Yeah, the only thing you hope is not a bad injury to somebody.
Yeah.
Well, it's flag football, so it would be non-contact.
Well,
yeah,
still, blow out an
not
ACL juking.
Yes.
Yeah.
I severed my ACL on an NFL flag football tournament I was in. So, yeah, that can happen. Yeah.
I should have played the Super Bowl this year. Yep.
Well,
and they're favored by 67 points.
Them bums are playing in the Super Bowl. Very good. Pam's keeping us up to date.
Yes.
I'm glad you joined us, Pam, for the sports segment.
Yes.
Well, Pam's probably like anything better than that damn Butcher segment I watched last week.
Well, real fast before we forget, one person, Sal, tell them where they can find you.
Oh, yeah.
Codex things.
That's true, because I was busy doing the ticket. Well,
check out.
ladies and gentlemen, you can always find me on YouTube under Sal's Comic Corner and under Instagram when the man Dan the Kelly Art allows me to be on Instagram. And it's the Slab Guy 77.
Jamie,
Yes.
it would have been funny if you said, Sal, tell them where they can find you. And as soon as he started talking, you did the thing where you like take him off.
Oh yeah.
That would have been
Well,
No.
he hasn't fired me in a while.
Hey, Jamie, you want to see the Housewives That Play cover? Lick, lick, lap, lap.
Yeah, I need a good laugh.
You want me to show it?
You go up just no. Just a little higher there, Uncle Gary.
I
But
can't.
no,
Lick, lick, lap, lap.
we've been busy,
Good.
all of us here at the Codex Nation, literally just pumping out content. And if I didn't already have enough on my plate, my crazy creative mind has decided to do another thing. So
Another thing.
another video series for people out there that are creators. So hopefully you'll be seeing that very
People that are
soon.
creators or people
Live.
that are creators.
Both.
Creators.
Creators.
I have mercy. You're still in here, Sapphire. But yes, there's that. And I was talking to Mighty Mike Harbor the other day about a couple other new things that I want to see him and Uncle Gary do. So we're gonna-
Mighty
Have you checked Mighty Mike's schedule? Has
Yeah.
Mike checked Mighty Mike's schedule?
no, he
Yeah,
hasn't. But
I've been
Me and
still
him had
asking him like, hey, or tell him like, hey, you gotta let me know when you're free so we can sit down and do your interview.
yeah,
And we can re-record it. Yay!
we had like a 30-minute conversation about it, so I felt very good.
When was that?
This was probably Thursday.
Okay. All right.
Mighty Mike, who just got his first tattoo.
Yeah, and he sent it to me as soon as he got it done.
I was not I was a little bit shocked that he got a tattoo. So
Yeah,
there you go.
I mean, he got a good one. So
St. George. That's right.
Yeah, Pam.
rough.
That's so true.
but ew.
That's so true, Pam.
But ew. All right. Why don't we say let's kick this off and get some books shown, guys?
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do it. I'll take care of that launch here. Here we go.
This
Where's-
is one.
This is one. This is it.
You
All right.
Night
We'll
goes.
see you guys in about 15 seconds.
15 seconds. Time for me to
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Comics Unleashed.
That wasn't 15 seconds.
That was 9.
I wanted to see you hustle.
Two.
Yeah.
Listen, I did 4.5 hours of yard work today. There ain't no goddamn hustle left in me. There's shuffle and that's about it.
And some grit there. But thank you all for joining us on Saturday night, taking a little bit of time of checking out what we got this week. With me, as always, is the same cavalry crew themselves. We got Sal the Slab Guy. Down below, we got Dan Kelly Art and the man, the myth, the legend, the collection that never ends, Uncle Gary.
Woo!
Everybody's favorite uncle.
Everybody's favorite. Every time someone talks to me, they're like,
Every monkey's uncle.
"Who are you talking to?" I'm like, "Uncle Gary." They're like, "Oh, so I didn't know you had Uncle Gary." I'm like, "Yeah, I do."
He's the uncle everybody wished you had when you were younger.
Oh God, yes.
He's everybody's uncle as long as they own comic books.
They own comic books, man. I'm there for you, brother.
Yeah, this is also true. But how about we get these books shown, guys?
Let's show some books.
Yes.
All right, I'll kick it off. So I have no back issues this week. I just got my pulls, so everyone's gonna be showing off theirs. Let's get this started. We're gonna go with Image with Bug Wars number 4.
Bug Wars.
This
Is that an ongoing or a limited?
I guess from Jason Aaron said this is gonna be an ongoing for a foreseeable future.
What's it about?
Bug Wars.
The best way I can explain it is it's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and literally like I don't even know what to say, like Battlestar Galactica, but in the grass.
Oh, so what do people get like shrunk down and then they have to survive?
It's one person.
Oh, one person.
This
I don't
one,
know, Sal. Like it could have been a Starship Troopers kind of thing.
Yeah.
Could have been.
Yeah.
It could have been.
Dead bug.
That's
Right.
what I was thinking.
that's what I should have said, but I wasn't thinking about it. This wasn't him.
Oh, talking geek. All right.
Yeah.
Pay attention to the road.
Next up, Precious got this one. And this one's from Image as well. This is Sleep #1.
Oh, that's a really
Ooh, that's an interesting cover.
Yeah, but the inside reminds me of like old-timey like newspaper comics. But the cool thing is it's all black-white scale. The only color that shows is red.
Oh.
See if I can
That's
get
been like really popular with these companies the past couple of years. This let's do a black and white comic that has that, but and the only color will be red.
here.
That graphic novel, whatever noir it was, that was fantastic. That did that.
But she actually read that on the way home from the comic shop and told me that I have to read it. It was amazing. So can't wait to jump into it. Next up from Mad Cave Studios, Dark Empty Void #5. This is the end of the series. This is I read the first issue so far, and it was amazing. It left you with so many questions. So
Nice.
hopefully it gives me the rest of the answers. Going back to Image, Rogue Sun #27.
Nice.
That's a cool cover.
And to finish up my independence, we have Red Coat 12.
Oh, I can't wait to read that.
Nice.
Yeah.
I
always love the wraparound cover.
Yeah.
I love
that's
meeting
really
the
cool.
Northerner in the last one, so I love more of that.
All right. Well, jumping into Marvel, we got Weapon X-Men #4.
Cool.
With our boy Thunderbird in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This cover is just crazy to me, but the Ultimates #12.
Yeah.
We have Superior Avengers #2.
Okay.
That's a cool cover. I like it.
The One World Under Doom.
That's the Doom Avengers, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if you needed any steroid enhancement motivation, here you go. It's Spider-Man and Wolverine #1.
Yes.
Yeah, I flipped through that at the comic shop, and I don't know. I didn't really dig the art, so I mean, the book might be great, but just the art seemed kind of inconsistent. Like it'd be like really dynamic on one page, and then I'd flip through and see another page, and it was just kind of bland.
Yeah. Well, speaking of steroids, Hulk and Doctor Strange #1.
There
I
you go.
almost picked that up, but I did not.
I'm picking it up because so far all those Straczynski books stories have been really good.
Yeah, I almost picked it up, but like the only thing I wondered about is all those Straczynski books are like, Captain America and Volstagg and Nick Fury and Fin Fang Foom and Doctor Doom and Rocket Raccoon. It's been these like odd pairings that you never thought you'd see, and I saw that I was like, well, we've seen Doctor Strange and the Hulk a ton.
Yeah.
That is very true. We have. It's almost like they were on. Oh, I don't know, the Defenders or something.
Yeah.
What?
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 Next up, Exceptional X-Men #9.
Cool.
Some sister action.
I was getting that for a while, and then I just let it go. I kind of liked it, but I was just like, sacrifices have to be made.
Yes, they usually do. The Amazing Spider-Man #4. I actually like the cover.
That
I
is
love that cover.
That's a good cover.
yeah,
Surprising, I like the cover.
Hobgoblin's frightening looking there.
So,
Yeah.
Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu #8.
Nice.
I like that.
And then, obviously, because I don't get them a lot, but I get them when they're cool and when Precious yells at me that I have to, the Alex Ross Timeless cover.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's
good
a
one.
really great one.
Yeah. And it's funny because on those timeless ones, he does the character like he does the paintings are like the full body of the character, but
Mhm.
they only put it, from the waist up on the cover because whenever you see the paintings posted, it's like at least with me, like it's a little weird seeing the whole thing when you're just used to seeing that
Yeah, just the.
top part. Yeah.
All right, next up, still probably one of my favorite Marvel series, The Incredible Hulk #25.
That's
Yeah.
a great wraparound cover.
It is. Boom.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that is a cool cover.
Yeah.
I just got a comic box of that.
Massive in that.
They just did a Marvel comic box of that, and I bought that cover.
So,
That image.
Uncle Gary, facsimile time.
Oh, there you go.
Fantastic Four, 48.
There you go. First Silver Surfer, first Galactus. Can't go wrong there.
And now kicking it into DC. I had to get this cover. I don't know why, but I love it. Superman Unlimited #1.
I had that one too.
Yeah.
That is Delato.
Yeah.
Who's that on the cover? You hold it up again.
Boop.
Oh, it's Crypto. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta have crypto.
Classic.
Well, I don't have because I'm watching the chat. Like I don't have the screen full size.
Mm.
Yep.
I don't
All
always see the smaller stuff.
All right. Next up, we got Absolute Flash #3. I'm actually digging this story more than the Flash itself.
The Flash itself has not been a good book in a while.
No.
But the cover is
This is a DNA cover. I don't know why I love it so much, but it's in my contendership for end of the year. But it's Wonder Woman 21.
I like that a lot. This has been a really good story. I'm looking forward to reading the second part.
Whole thing's been fun.
Tom King's done a really good job on that title.
Yes, he has. I'm in the middle of reading Mr. Miracle, so I'm just like,
Have you? Let me ask you this about the Mr. Miracle. Have you got to the part where because you got Funky Flashman in it, right?
Yes.
And is he talking to the baby about creating stories?
No, right now he's calling the baby different names.
Well, the baby is Jacob, right?
Yes.
So do you know who Funky and Jacob are?
No, I have no.
Yeah.
It's Stan and Jack.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. It was like Jack Kirby's way of poking fun at Stan Lee.
Yeah, but this isn't going to give you. This isn't a give. This isn't giving you away a spoiler. It's an inside baseball thing,
Mm-hmm.
and at some point they're telling. Funky is telling stories, and they're telling stories, and it's just like an inside baseball thing of Stan and Jack creating the Marvel universe.
Got it.
So it's just kind of fun. Jacob is Jack Kirby's real name, Jacob Kurtzman, and Funky Flashman is the character that that Jack created when he went to DC in the Mr. Miracle line, where he created a PR huckster, and it was based on Stan.
Yeah. Now that I'm like thinking about it, I'm like, how did I not catch that?
Yeah. Well, it's an inside baseball thing. It really is. Yeah.
Yeah, that was Jack's way of kind of taking shots at Stan and some of the things he didn't like about his dealings at Marvel.
Yeah, but Tom King's iteration of it is not a shot.
Yeah. All right. Well, next up, Titans 23. Still a fantastic book.
Mm-hmm. Love the cover.
We got Nightwing 126.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like that cover.
Yeah. I had to grab it.
Nightwing has a lot of good covers.
He does.
All right. Next, we have DC and Sonic the Hedgehog #3. I just love the fact that Knuckles is Superman. I knew Shadow was going to be Batman. Uncle Gary, facsimile time.
I didn't see Sonic on the cover. Which one was he?
Flash?
He's Flash. He's down. He's right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just saw him red and just thought it was another Sonic character that I didn't know.
All right. But like I said, facsimile time again with Batman 617.
There you go. So are you waiting to get them all to read Hush, or reading them as you go?
I'm reading them as I go.
Since they're weekly, right? Aren't they weekly?
No, they're coming out monthly.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
It is.
Which part of Hush is that?
Let's see.
I'm just wondering, since they're coming out monthly, I wonder if Hush 2 is going to finish before them.
Well, this is where Robin's fighting Catwoman at the beginning. And Huntress is involved in here. Fighting her as well.
And I'm just wondering if DC timed it right where, where the Hush reprints would end either before or at the same time as the Hush 2 storyline that they're doing.
Maybe. Last one I have is Detective Comics 1097.
It's a great cover.
Yeah.
That's cool. That is a cool cover.
All right. Well, that is it for me. So I will give Sal the floor.
All right. Very good. Here we go. So I also got Facing Spider-Man number 4. Do love that cover.
Yeah,
Read the story. I read that one. It's pretty good. Hobgoblin's always pretty cool.
Yeah.
The Insurgent Iron Man number 8.
Ooh.
Black Widow. Give him a little choke action.
Got a spider problem. Usually you have to pay extra for that.
Yeah, usually pay extra for that.
So
Not
what
here in
is
Vegas.
Iron Man? What's the story with his new set of armor that he has in it?
Oh gosh, I forgot this one. I haven't read this one yet, and I haven't been. I think I'm not up to date on it. I think I'm only up to number 3. To tell you the truth.
Well, no, in the first issue, didn't he get like the new set of the new suit of armor?
He did. See, now you got to test my memory on this. I don't know.
Set you up.
Yeah, he did.
He set you up, man.
He did. I don't remember. I don't remember. Yes, it is a new set of armor.
Okay.
All right. So, Exceptional X-Men number 9. All right. I too got the Incredible Hulk number 25 wraparound cover.
Great
I
reference.
love it.
Yeah.
Now, let's just take a zoom in on that back cover there.
Yeah.
That.
It's a big hand.
Big hands.
Big
Big
hand.
hands.
Bang.
So- Picked up some Timeless Variants. Got the Incredible Hulk one.
Nice.
Got the Vision of the Scarlet Witch one.
Yep.
I got Superior Avengers one.
Nice yellow jacket.
Mm-hmm. All right, and on to my Independence. So I saw this one and I picked it up. It's called The Curse of Shirley Johnson. Oh, come on, focus. There we go. Don't know why the cover kind of grabbed me, but check out this back, the back, which is going to be the cover of issue 2.
Oh, that looks cool.
Yeah. So
The
I
front
have
kind of
not-
reminds me of Cloak.
Yeah, it does. So decided to pick it up and check it out. Picked up Ghostbusters number 1, Dead Man's Chest. Was joking
Nice.
with John at the shop on this one because
That's
I'm
a
like,
cool cover.
Like I'm pretty sure this is a mini. Is that correct? He goes, yeah. He goes, because they always get a bump in sales when you have a number 1. So I'm like, okay, all right.
Well, I think
So-
anytime you see a series that has like the title and then there's a subtitle, you know that it's going to be a mini series.
Right. All right, pick this one up. I've read this one so far. It's only up to issue 2. I love this. You gotta check this out. It's called Vatican City. Okay,
All right.
and there's number 2. All right.
Oh,
The
Mark-
story behind this is that vampires have taken over the earth. In issue number 1, the United States falls within the first 2 pages. The United States is just done. They're over in Europe.
We're done.
They're at Vatican
Like
City.
anything
The story takes place
apocalypse.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like the whole thing about the secrecy of the Vatican City with the underground library, or there's their what do they call containers or storage
Catacombs.
facilities, or catacombs, stuff like that. Well, apparently they have some master vampire hidden in Vatican City underground catacombs under lock and key. So and all the vampires are converging there to free her. So it's pretty good so far. Definitely a good check out. Gotta check that out. If you're into vampires and stuff like that, and love all the mystery of behind the Vatican City, check it out. All right. I also got Detective Comics 1097. And that, oh no, sorry. Now on to some foily goodness. Absolute Martian Manhunter. Foily goodness.
Nice.
That is a cool cover.
Flash number 1, foily goodness.
Yeah.
Vision and Scarlet Witch, foily goodness.
Yeah, that's like the homage to that issue of that issue of Avengers when it was when they gave Vision back the red body. There was the bronze cover.
Yeah.
Right.
Where he's coming out during the Gathering storyline. I forget the issue number.
Yeah. And Bruce says, yet Marvel can't create a Blade movie. Well, they did, and it was perfect, and they can't do anything better than that. So,
Yeah.
They keep cycling through scripts and directors. They're going to get to the point where the actors are going to be like, all right, I'm done. Find someone else.
Yep.
The Oscar-winning actor.
Yeah.
So I picked up the Spider-Man Wolverine Wheelie Goodness as well.
Nice.
It is better than the Roid Rage on mine.
Yep.
With the explosion in the background, it's like something from MacGruber.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it for me on my weekly pool stuff. Avengers
Right.
350. That's right.
Dan.
All right. I'll start out with my DC stuff. I've read the DC and the indie stuff. I haven't read the Marvel stuff yet, but I also got the Wonder Woman 21. Yeah, I dug this story. I like how this one was. I like how the storyline ended. It was good. I'm not generally a Tom King fan, but I did like these 2 issues, so may continue picking up the book. I'll have to see. Might have to go back and pick up the first 19 issues. But yeah, I really like that storyline with Batman. I got Zatanna #4, and this series has been okay.
It's been okay. That's where I put it. Okay.
Yeah, it's not bad, but it's not really great either. It's just kind of
floating in purgatory.
There you go. The last Zatanna miniseries was kind of a lot of fun. This is just.
Was that bringing down the house?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, this one's just it's all right.
It's
Titans 23. This was a really cool issue.
Yeah, I look forward to reading that.
This one was pretty good. Superman Unlimited #1. And part of the story from this they had printed in the Free Comic Book Day issue, and then this says the rest of the story. It's pretty good, and it's got an interesting last page. I thought this was just going to be a one-shot, but I guess it's is it
ongoing.
I don't know if it's an ongoing or if it's a mini or what.
It's ongoing.
It's ongoing for now, at least.
Okay, well, I'll pick it up for a little bit. It's got an interesting last page, which would definitely make you want to read the next issue. World's Finest 39. I've been picking this up because it has the crossover.
I've enjoyed that story so far.
Justice League Unlimited. Yeah, it's been good. A lot of time jumping, a lot of time traveling. It's been fun. Also, this Detective Comics 1097. Like you guys got.
Love it. Love that.
Yeah, I love it since since Taylor has taken over. It's a different artist that's on this issue than was on the first few, but I still dig it. For indies, I got Out of Alcatraz #3.
I love this book.
I have the first issue. I read that. I missed the second issue, and I've been trying to find a copy of it. So I sold it.
I wish I had known last week that you were looking for a copy of that.
I looked for it when I was there for LotCon.
Okay, so we didn't have it. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't see it. So, and I stopped by another shop today when I happened to be in Bethesda, and they didn't have it either. And my shop doesn't have it, so
right.
I might have to read it online just so I can continue reading it and then pick up a copy
When you see
at a
it.
convention or something whenever I find one. Also got Red Coat too with the awesome wraparound cover. And when you read the story, I did read this. When you read the story inside, the stuff on this cover will
Makes sense.
will make more sense to you. But yeah, it's a cool, really cool issue.
Oh, real cool. Sorry to cut you off, Dan.
No.
But there's a guy, another creator on TikTok that just basically started back getting into comics again, and he bought Red Coat #1, and I told him I'm like, you got to get Hyde Street #1, you got to get Geiger, and you got to find Rook. And he read Hyde Street, bought all of them, up to date. And now he's like, he just posted today that he got Rook, and he messaged me, like, DM me, and he was like, "You were right. I needed these in my life."
Yeah, they're good. I mean, I like all of the I like all the Ghost Machine stuff.
He's
I
killing
think
it.
Code's been my favorite book. I know that we each have our own favorite. Gary with Hyde Street, and you,
Yep.
Jamie, with Rook.
Yeah.
But Red Coat's been the one that I've liked best, and I like all of them.
Me too.
But this has been the
My
one
favorite stories so far with that, because I have not caught up with the Northerner part yet, but was when he was in the hospital with Einstein, and they were talking about the life he had and everything, and how he never regretted meeting him.
Oh, it's touching.
Yeah.
I love it. I love how it's not just we're gonna start at the beginning and we're just gonna have like one storyline. I like that each storyline takes place at different points in his, because he's a long life, that takes place at different points of his life. So so you can have all these other historical figures that are real and that are kind of tall tales figures, and you can have them all in the story interacting with him at different points. And even though like that storyline with Einstein, Einstein, is at the end and dying there, he could still show up in the book, many, many times, just, earlier in his life. So I really dig how they have the structure of it too.
Yeah, I mean, the one issue had the most violent issue of any book I'd read all year with the serial killers, and then the next issue was a caper with Johnny Appleseed.
That one, I really liked that one.
That was just so much fun. Yeah,
and the Annie Oakley one was fun.
Annie Oakley was great too. Yeah, that was a 3-issue span. What a difference between those 3 issues tonally, and how much fun.
Well, the Northerner was in the issue before that. He's in this one. I don't know how long the story's going. It's going to go at least until the next issue. And
the Northerner I expect to see more of, because he's part of that timeline.
Yeah, what do they call it? The unknown.
The unknown.
Yeah, I thought it was unnamed.
Oh, the unnamed.
Or the unnamed. Yeah, you're right. But, and he, and you find out. You don't really find out a lot more about him in this, but a little more. But it's interesting. And then the Marvel. So I got 3 Marvel books. I got The Thing #1. I
didn't know if I wanted to pull the trigger on that today.
Yeah, that's a fun cover.
It is. It's a fun cover. And I think it's a mini series. I'm not sure. I picked it up. I flipped through it. The artwork inside.
I think it is.
Looks like it's
decent. Fleeks is on it.
Yeah. I picked it up and looked inside the art, flipped through it real quick. The artwork looks decent. I saw somebody post about it somewhere, and saying that it was a fun book. And I said, because, I had all my stack of stuff, and then I was like, you know what? Whatever, I'll give it a try. I'll let, who doesn't like The Thing? And then, I got a couple timeless covers. I got the Vision and Scarlet Witch. #1, the timeless cover. So I'm not buying the timeless covers for books that I'm not already getting.
Right.
But if it's a title I'm already buying, unless it's one that like would completely blow me away. But so far it's only for the stuff that I was going to buy already. I'm like, yeah, I'll get the timeless cover, just like with the Todd Nauck iconic covers he's doing. Like, all right, if it's a book I'm already planning on buying, I'll get that cover instead of the regular one, because I dig those too. And then the Moon Knight one. The Moon Knight one is just
that's sick.
So
Yeah, he's pulling a specter the way he's pointing at you.
Yeah. And like, I always love with Moon Knight the way they do when they do the mask like this, where it's just the hood and everything's in shadow except for the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's 248. So I know that they're building up to the big issue, the big legacy issue, or it's issue 8, but it's legacy 248, and they're building up to the big legacy issue 250 soon.
Yeah.
So that's it for my new stuff. I got back issues when we swing back around.
All right, Uncle Gary.
All right. Let's see what we'll start with. Let's start with some Marvelous stuff. So I got a Marvel trade. I got the Avengers Assemble trade.
Ooh.
I I like that series.
I did.
Yeah.
It was fun, and I'm going to get it because it's got Wonder Man in it. So there you go. So that was good. I also got the Spidey. But I'm always going to have to get Spidey because I have every damn one.
What's your run start at for that again? I forget.
Unbroken.
Yeah, Unbroken.
It starts at 1.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Weapon X-Men with the Red Ronin on it, and we'll have I'm enjoying that. Thunderbird's in that book. He's got a spider problem, like we saw earlier.
Yep.
With the Iron Man.
And it's just more of his advanced armor type of thing for it. It's nothing really special about it other than his willingness to how he's using it.
So we talked about this great cover. So I haven't read any of these yet. I just turned to the splash page. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Boom! Smash.
That is.
Have you guys? I assume you guys have all seen the movie Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
many years ago.
The one when he looks at me, he's like, "Damn, you got knocked the F out." That's what that reminds me of.
Right. Straczynski, Hulk and Strange. So there you go. You know what? Maybe the oddball pairing is Agatha Harkness and Aunt May.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's the oddball.
That one is kind of oddball. Maybe she makes Agatha Harkness wheat cakes, and then Agatha Harkness walks out of the house with a big dump truck.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Fantastic Four. And Daredevil Unleashed. You know what? I'm so sick of this red bag shit. Just, quit making me have to dig the book out of the damn bag.
Well, that's what they're going to do with the new Punisher series.
I know. And that's, that'll be okay, I suppose.
I'm just happy that they're bringing Frank back.
Yeah.
I knew it would happen. I knew as soon as they said they were bringing Bernthal back on the TV show, I was like, well, they're going to bring him back in the comic because they always, whatever they do in the shows and movies, they find a way to do in the comics.
Yeah.
Okay, so y'all showed some Timeless. There were 7 Timeless covers. I have every time
this week.
I have every Timeless cover from before, so of course I'm getting every Timeless cover. So there we go. There's Yellow Jacket.
Yellow Jacket.
There's Gargoyle.
Gargoyle, yep.
Now, did they do any other ones of Hank Pym as Ant-Man or Goliath or Giant Man or anything?
Can't remember.
I remember the Goliath one.
There's
That
Jan
That's
Van,
a good Wasp.
and this is very John Buscema era
Yeah.
Wasp with the hairdo and with the costume. And did somebody say Ant-Man?
Oh, yeah.
Now I don't know if that's supposed to be Scott Lang or if that's supposed to be Pym, but there you go. There's an Ant-Man, classic Ant-Man costume.
That was such a great costume design, too.
Mm-hmm.
Such a great.
Quicksilver, Petro, Moon Knight, which I think is the coolest one of the week,
Mm-hmm.
and Marvel.
Yep.
Yeah, that one's cool. I'm
Marvel.
surprised that he didn't do.
Wait,
Marvel.
hold that one back up, Uncle Gary. It's like they just put you in a costume.
Yeah, there you go. Like that.
I'm kind of surprised it took him this long to put Marvel as one of them.
Still haven't done this guy, so this isn't a Timeless, but it is a negative space cover. It's pretty cool.
Oh, that is.
Oh,
yeah.
What is that on? I didn't see that.
This is
that-
on.
Was that
this
last
is-
week?
Yes, it's last week. So
Was
we
that
got
West Coast Avengers?
Yeah. It's
Yep.
West Coast Avengers.
Oh, I didn't see that. I would have bought that one.
Yeah. So
Is it a ratio?
no? It's not a
Oh.
ratio. So we just got ours in a week late. We got the regular book in, but we didn't get that variant in. So
Oh.
So anyway, that's
Great.
why that came in late. If I see another one, I will be on the lookout for it. I think Mike got. I think I put one back from Mike. He had one and one. I'm not sure how many others we had. I'm enjoying this book a lot too. This Absolute Flash, and like we had stated earlier, it's certainly better than the ongoing Flash book. Detective, really cool cover, digging it a lot.
Yeah, my detective run starts from New 52 #1 to now.
Not bad. Mine Broken Detective run starts at want to say 363, maybe
Yeah.
late 50s. You know,
I'm working for that 500 up.
A lot earlier than mine.
Oh no, that is 353, 253, not 3. 253.
Don't shortchange yourself like
Yeah,
that.
by 100. Jesus, yeah. So, and my goal is to be 250 up, so I'm getting closer. This is just such a great title. I've enjoyed all of it.
I really enjoyed this two-part storyline.
I have two, very inventive, very cool. So I really
Yeah, Precious raves about that book.
yeah, I really look forward to seeing it. I look forward to reading this one. But yeah,
Well, I mean, we all know how she feels about Tom King.
Oh, God.
Yep.
He can't do wrong.
He helped you get married. Okay, do we know who this introduces?
I'm guessing Sergeant Rock.
Facsimile edition of Army at War 151. Do we know who's introduced in here?
No, it wasn't Rock.
Yeah, it wasn't Rock.
Okay.
He was already around at that point.
Okay, well, the read that box. Who is the blazing enemy we dared not show on this cover?
Is it?
I have no idea.
The Human Bomb.
It's not Enemy Ace, is it? Because he was around already. Oh, it is Enemy Ace. Okay.
Enemy Ace.
Yes.
There you go. Good one.
Enemy Ace. And I still need a copy of that, the original. So I'm working on that. You know, because that book has got a little price tag to it. So
Think about it, what a wild time in comics that was, that they had a main character that was a Nazi fighter pilot.
No. Enemy Ace is World War One.
Oh, World War One. Okay.
Yep. So he's not enough.
Even so, he was the main character was a
German
pilot for the other side.
Yeah, it would have been pretty hard to have.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was a World War One flying ace based on the Red Baron.
But he was a cool character though. He was.
Oh, he is von Richter or von Richten, whatever von Hammer. That's what he is. Yeah, he was. Good job, Pam. It's a really cool character with a lot of
honor,
grace, and honor. Absolutely. Yeah. And for those of you that have not read Enemy Ace War Idol, you need to read Enemy Ace War Idol.
Yeah, it's good.
That is one of the greatest graphic novels. That's a top 10 graphic novel for me.
As an original story, not a graphic novel that's just
right. It's not a collected edition. It's by Pratt, and oh my gosh, and it's just wonderful. Just background deals with the enemy ace pretty much on his deathbed, as he's very old, and there's a young writer who's a Vietnam vet who is a tunnel rat, and he has PTSD, as does the ace, and even through all those generations, they come together as brothers of combat, and it is beautiful. And the painting, oh my God, the beautiful paintings by Pratt are just breathtaking, right, Dan?
Yeah, and that art that he did on your volume was amazing.
Yeah. He did he drew, he inked that piece on mine, and he inked a different one on Mike's volume. And the thing is, Mike and I don't know who has the better one.
Yeah.
Which is so cool. Neither of us know who got the better picture.
Well, you need to show them on here, and we'll determine.
Yeah, well, maybe so.
Take a vote.
There we go. Catwoman, Out of the Past, and
that's a cool cover. I like how it has the her face with the lips and the sunglasses with the city behind her and all that. That's a cool layout.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And this is the Cho variant.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
That's almost like a storybook kind of cover.
It is. Sure is. He's been doing some really beautiful covers like that. There's the Superman Unlimited. Ace. Wow. You know what? I think if we do that's one we could rope old Mighty Mike into.
Yeah.
I think we would just need. I'd be down for it. We just need enough advance notice to really do a proper reading.
I can tell you a recommended reading would be Enemy Ace War Idol.
Yeah. Across the board.
For me, like I've read War Idol and I've read a little bit of Enemy Ace kind of here and there, but if I were to like do an episode on it, I would definitely need advanced prep time to dive in and read.
Detective Comics 414 was a great Enemy Ace story. Things weren't exactly as they seemed, but it was Batman with Enemy Ace, and Neil Adams did that cover and did the interiors, and it was his tribute to Joe Kubert, who he adored. So,
I mean, those are two pretty big heavyweights there.
yeah, how about that? And here we go, Del Otto, Crypto. Who doesn't love Crypto? There's another Jim Lee Superman cover I almost got, but it was kind of movie Crypto, fuzzy Crypto, a little fuzzy Crypto. I like classic Crypto and Del Otto. So, Satana, like I said, this book is a big meh for me, but the best thing about it are the covers.
It's one of those ones that you read it because you hope that the sales numbers are good enough that they keep putting out Hannah books. Like it's okay. I think that's the best I could describe it. It's okay. It's not reading it where you're like, God, this sucks, but you're also not getting your books every week like, oh, I can't wait to read the new issue.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I got 2 issues for independent stuff. I got 2 issues of Battle Action.
Nice.
And
That is nice.
That's cool.
So looking forward to reading those. They're always good.
What's up, Booge? Oh, Tommy, Booge wants a episode on Hitman.
Man, what a great story that'd be another one where I tell you to read the whole damn series.
Yeah.
I would already know one of my badass moments, the one in the issue of Justice of JLA where they were having the recruitment drive, and he walks in and he's like, I'm not here to join. He's like, I just wanted to get a look at Wonder Woman. He's like, yeah, and then he just turns around and leaves.
Well, and Dan's not telling you this because he has X-ray eyes.
Yeah, he has X-ray vision.
Yeah. Out of Alcatraz. I can't wait to read this. I have really enjoyed it. And you know what? Independent books can be more creative than the mainstream Marvel and DC books because they have to usually color within the lines. So the independent books can tell what they want. There's my Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger.
Is there a new issue that came out of that? I didn't see it in my shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see that either.
Yeah.
That's a good cover.
Yeah, it is a great cover. Space Ghost. And I got to tell you, it's with last week's stuff. I read Space Coast Johnny Quest. It was good.
Yeah.
Did y'all read that?
I have not read it yet.
Jamie, you read it?
I have it. I just haven't read it yet.
I mean, you think those characters do not go together.
No.
It was good. I was very, very happily impressed.
Remember when DC did their Hanna-Barbera crossover?
Yeah.
Future Quest.
Yeah. That, because what was it, Space Ghost and Lantern, wasn't it?
It was, they did that one, and then they had a Future Quest miniseries that was all of those Hanna-Barbera characters. So it was Johnny Quest and Space Ghost and the Herculoids and Thundar the Barbarian and
it was Adam. No, it was Adam Strange was with.
Adam Strange was with.
I can't remember. Adam Strange was with one.
I have that one. I'm just trying to remember who he was with.
Yeah, me too. Was he with Johnny Quest?
No, you guys keep going.
Birdman was one of them too. It might have been Birdman. I'll check after the show because I have it over. Or you know what? I could check right here.
All right, here we go again. Just another.
That's a great cover.
Is that a new one?
This is another check mark in the ledger for who will be my cover artist of the year.
Yeah,
Lee Bermejo. I mean, that is an amazing cover. Wow.
Was that this week?
Yes. Yeah.
Why didn't I get that?
So if you like your Witches Well Done, this is your book.
Okay, so it just was Adam Strange, Future Quest, and then the cover is hold it up. I don't know if you can see on the phone. It's him rocketing up, holding Johnny Quest and Haji saving up the dinosaurs, and then it's got a little thing in the corner that says bonus feature Top Cat.
Okay, so
that Future Quest series was really, really good, where it found a way to tie all of those Hanna-Barbera properties together. That was such a cool story.
Yeah, and when we did Super Sons, the one with Blue Dynamite, with Blue
With
Falcon
Blue
and Dynamite
Falcon and Dynamite.
was the best. Must be, and it was touching. It was sad.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, had the
And
feels.
Yeah, because it made me, the way Damien talked, like they had this adventure before. I really ended with me going like, well, I want to see him. I want to see that story. Like, I want to see the story where Damien got this like huge amount of respect for Dynamite.
So I got this book because of Kent. He's always talking about this guy, Mark Spears, and his work. So they're reprinting his monsters again, and I don't have any of them, so I bought it. Damn, it's
gorgeous, isn't it?
Oh, I mean this
That's good stuff.
This dude's art is pretty daggone amazing. So
well, he did this monsters thing as a series of trading cards, and it was that he did on Kickstarter, and then he did this series on Kickstarter, and then now this company is publishing the issues that he had already done. And
right.
he actually has a Kickstarter running right now for another series of these monster cards that you can get. And that scene with the Wolfman on the last page, that is straight from the Monster Squad.
Well, yeah,
you've seen the movie Monster Squad.
Yeah, so I'm interested in reading this. The art looks phenomenal. So and I didn't have only the original. So, but that is it for me. Dan, maybe you have it in the back issues. But I'm just curious if you read that independent book that I was able to snag, the last one we had.
I haven't read it yet. I haven't read my stuff last week, and just so I'd be able to, I was reading this week's stuff because I wanted to be able to talk about it if we were talking about the issues. I still got to go back and read last week's stuff.
Yeah, just curious. I forget the name of it now, but it was such Vanishing Point. Was it Vanishing Point?
And actually, it's in the bag with that stuff upstairs, so I don't even have it with me in front of me.
All right, that's it for me. I do have a few kind of back issues, but yeah.
Okay. And I have issue 1, one of the reprints of issue 1 and issue 4 from Mark Spears Monsters. I got to get 2 and 3, and then I got the free comic book day issue 2. I just haven't found 2 and 3 yet. I missed them when they came out.
Well, Dan, go ahead with some back issues, bud.
All right. Well, I got some back issues when I went to LotCon. So nobody had any like old stuff because I was looking to get some older stuff, and nobody.
Well, Damien wasn't there.
Yeah, since Damien wasn't there, no one had any really old stuff. But I picked up a few things. I got this one from Adam, Ultimate Spider-Man 13, which I thought was the one I was missing. I'm missing issue 14. So now I have 2 copies of this. So I guess this will just go in the trade/sell/giveaway box. Because I don't need 2 copies of the same book with the same cover. Sorry if that offends you, Sal, and your 18 to 36 copies of each cover of each issue of Venom.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, I don't know why I'm missing issue 14. I bought it. It's somewhere. I just don't know what happened to it. But I did pick up Sensational She-Hulk number 29.
Nice. Spider.
Yeah.
I like that cover.
Working on trying to complete that run. Whenever I find cheap issues of it, it says Giant, but it's just Justice League of America number 153.
Ultra.
Yeah. So and I said before, if you're looking to do a complete run of a classic series that's not gonna break the bank relatively too much, I think Justice League would be a good one. I chose to do Avengers, but I still pick up these ones too. But the difference is Avengers Volume 1 ran longer than Justice League before they restarted Justice League. But Avengers has all these first appearances and stuff in it. And, Justice League, all these first appearances were in other books more than they were in the actual Justice League books. So like the early issues are going to be really pricey, but when you're getting into, the issues, but like before 100 and 100 on, they're not going to run you a lot of money.
No, they're not. And outside of the first 20, it's not too terribly expensive unless you're going for super high grade.
Yeah. And it's a great series too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is.
So many good stories.
One will hurt you.
Yeah.
One will hurt you.
Was that about mine? I have two, which is one reason I have that box. But it happened to me too many times at conventions when you're digging through back issues and you pull out like when I was working on my New Mutants run and I'd buy like 15 issues of it at one stand, and then 4 hours later I'm looking at another stand, I'm looking at my list and I hadn't crossed all of them off there, and I'd get home and I'm like, well, I've got 2 copies each of 4 or 5 of these issues. I would just look at them and keep the better copy and then put the other one in the box. And when I would say like, all right, I got like 15 extra issues of New Mutants, I'll just sell it as a lot.
Could be worse. You could buy the same issue at the same stand at the same time.
Yeah, that was. Oh my god, that was so funny when you did that.
That was. But one was the newsstand copy. The other one was the direct. So
you can't go wrong with the JLA, buddy. That was the
whatever
first
you got to
ever completed.
Whatever you got to do to justify it to yourself, Sal.
That's right.
Let's see. Yeah, like I said, JLA is a great series, and like I said, it's not as far as all of those older series, it's not going to break the bank for you as much as other ones will.
Yep.
I got this with Irredeemable Ant-Man #1, which was the first appearance of Eric O'Grady, the Irredeemable Ant-Man that later became Black Ant. Silver Surfer #1.
That's a cool cover.
Yeah, this is one of those series that I read it when I was a kid, and I love it, and I still like it. And when I find the issues for a good price, I pick them up.
I need one stupid issue of that, and then I can sell the whole thing as a lot.
Or which issue?
I think it's 135 or 132. Of course, it's got damn Agatha Harkness on the cover, so that.
Oh, that one, yeah.
That may, it's not really expensive. It's just that may be why I don't see it nowadays.
Yeah. Well, I don't think any of the issues in the run are really expensive, except for those ones that had to do with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Right. There's a Thanos issue, I think 50. Yeah.
Yeah. Because even this one, like issue 1 I got this for just a few bucks, and
yeah, it's not expensive. It's just a series I don't have to have, and I'll let go.
And that's no. This was before Ron Lim joined the book. I forget who the original artist was, but Ron Lim didn't come on until after the book had been out for a couple years. But it's one of those ones I pick up the issues when I can find them, and when I get closer to completing it, when I'm like 20 or so issues away, I'll put more of a focus on picking them up as opposed to just getting them occasionally. Is it 34, 44, and up to 60? Is that the issues that you need, or then I got this other one too, issue 106.
Oh, that's a cool cover.
Yeah,
because this series did kind of tail off towards the end, which is why I stopped reading it. And then being the completist that I am now, going back, I'm like, I have to have them all. Mike will appreciate this. Something is Killing the Children, #10.
Yeah, my
great book.
Yes, I did not start the series when it started. To my regret, which I now have to go back and the Infinity Gauntlet tie-ins.
I have not read. I have that first trade, and I've still not read it. But everybody says it's so great, and I just haven't.
Something's Killing the Children. It's fantastic. If you like horror stuff, it's just it's
just
fantastic.
haven't got there. Yeah.
So now I've got 10 up, and I've got one, and I've got all the other ones, but I don't have the first prints. I've got it where they did that slaughter pack.
Yeah.
They had what's his name that did the cover? The guy that used to do Daredevil. I forget his name, but he did the slaughter packs, or he did 1 through 5, and he did 6 through 10. So I've got those. So I've got all the issues, but I'd like to, as I find them with good prices, fill in 1 through 9. I know that's going to end up being pricey, but yeah. Gary will appreciate this. Swamp Thing number 5.
Woo, nice book.
There you go. Good job.
Again, when I find the issues for a good price, I pick them up here and there, and as I get a few issues away from completing it, I'll put more of a focus on it. X-Men Deadly Genesis 1. This is a collection assignment for the summer day. Oh, I already did a video on my Instagram page with my collecting goals for the year. And there's a few series that I have the goal of completing them by the end of the year. So I'm focusing the main money towards those. I just get this other stuff as I find good prices on it. This is one I had the whole series except for issue 1, and I bought it when it came out. I just don't know what happened to it. And it's agitated me for years. And he's sick of all sub 1500. Anyways, it's agitated me for years that I lost my copy of this, and now that I bought another copy, I'm sure I'll find it in a random box somewhere.
It's just chilling in your bookcase behind you.
I mean, whatever.
Like this.
Yeah. I mean, whatever. It's not a bad issue to have 2 copies of. It's the first appearance of all those. Of Vulcan and all those other characters. And then the last one I got is Avengers 95.
It's a nice copy, it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice looking copy. So
I think Adams was still doing the interiors at that point.
yeah, so again, this is one of the series where I decided I was going to try and do a complete run of it. So bit by bit, little by little, I'll chip away at it.
Every issue counts.
Yep. So that's it. That's all the back issues. Oh, wait, one more thing. That's all the back issue stuff I got at LotCon. And then Rob, when I was talking to him at one point, gave me one of these. He gave me 2 of them, one for me and one for Sal. This really cool Comic Logic challenge coin.
That is cool.
10 years, baby.
For the 10th anniversary. So that was super cool. Rob, if you're watching this, which I'm sure you're not, or the replay of it, thank you so much. This was super cool to get. Really, really means a lot to me that you that you thought enough of us to to give me one of these. I absolutely love it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it was nice. He said some nice words when he gave them to you.
Yeah, he did, and I really appreciate it. It's fantastic, and it's a cool store, and obviously like everybody that works there is super cool, and I love supporting you guys and love being able to come up to do stuff, and we'll definitely be there for the California thing.
Great.
Like, I was even texting different friends, be like, hey, my buddy's store's having this, you should come up.
Great. I appreciate that. I appreciate you being there, and I appreciate you and Sal's support, and so you being local, that y'all can come down for events. It's pretty awesome. And to see some of these folks, you see people that we know, Liz and in the chat, and Chris, and I mean, just the fact to see Chris in the wild is worth a ticket.
Yeah,
it was great seeing Chris and getting to talk to him for a while too. Wow, that is an impressive Avengers run. I am I'm not where you're at, Richard. I have about 2/3 of the run, so I only need about another third of it, but a lot of it is pre-100, so it's the pricier ones.
Richard, you're almost in my neck of the woods, my friend.
Yeah,
you get those 2 issues, and me and you can bond over having a complete run of Avengers. Good job, buddy. Space. I do have the 2001 Space. I had the 2001 Space Odyssey. I thought it was a one shot that Marvel did, and I have that. I think it was in Marvel Premiere or something. So I don't know if that's the same thing that you're talking about there, Booge. But I know I have that. The Marvel Premiere 2001. I think it's Kirby cover.
Well, Sal, what you got?
All right. So I've got 3 slabs to show off. 2 of you've already seen, but we're going to show off again. All right. First one
quick,
up.
Sorry, real quick. Marvel did a 2001 Space Odyssey book, started in 1976, and it ran for 10 issues.
Okay, then I have the first issue of that. So there we go. Have to work on it.
Very good. First one up is Transformers, Dan Kelly art. Check it out right there.
9-0. Look at that.
Nice and Dan Kelly art. So not only did I get 1, but I got 2.
Yeah, there you go. That's why the share. That's why we had the deputies. We did have the deputies there. They got advanced work.
I was. Sal says he's not disappointed. I was disappointed that his book came back as a 9.0 because all the other ones that I sent away with it all came back as either 9.6 or 9.8. His came back as a 9.0. The grader's notes didn't really make a whole lot of sense, and we go over it in the unboxing video that I did of it, where the grader's notes for that and some of the other books don't really make a lot of sense with the grades that they got.
Yeah, but next time, don't tell them that book's for Sal. That's what he got dinged on.
Yeah,
Probably. All right, you've seen this one already, ladies and gentlemen, but now it has finally made it to my hands.
Well, that passed from Kent to me to Dan, and Dan actually let it go. I'm surprised.
Dan let it go.
It was hard, you know, guys. My favorite Green Lantern.
Yeah,
That's the colors on that are beautiful.
Yeah,
they are.
When Gary gave it to me to give to you, he's like, "Oh yeah, here you go. Here's Sal's book." And I held it. I was like, "It's my book."
Yeah, that's what he said. Sal, he said, "No, it's my book." I said, "Well," I said, "That's between you and Sal to work out."
Yep. Yes, indeed. But awesome book. All right. Next up, last book of the one night for me. Where Monsters Dwell, #1.
Nice.
That's cool.
Look at that.
yeah.
That's a good grade too for that.
Yeah. Yep.
So, I like it.
So
Cyclops back to life. Scott Summers looking real ugly.
So that is it. That was #1 issue.
Now we
really quick,
see that picture,
what's
you
that?
realize why Gene might have had the potential to have Wolverine as a side piece.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm gonna get rid of that plastic one. I'm gonna replace that one. That's a terrible bag. Yeah. So Swamp Thing, Volume 1. I'm only missing 4 issues, and I'll have the complete run of Volume 1.
So of the 24, what are what you're still looking for?
I'm missing #2, #12, and 24.
2, 12, and 24. So you need 3 issues.
Oh, yep. Sorry, 3 issues. 3 issues. You're right.
24 is the
late.
last
I can't
issue.
Yep.
24 is the last issue. Then you need 12 and you need 2. Well, you only need one of the Wrightson issues still.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, he's got more than me. I've only got 4 or 5 issues.
It is 4 because I'm missing #4. So 2, 4,
Okay.
12, 24. That's where I got confused.
4 is the great Wrightson werewolf issue.
Yeah.
And I looked for some of those books that you told me you were looking for at LiveCon, and like I said, there was no one there that generally had really old stuff, so they didn't have.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Understand. That's
All right, Uncle Gary.
Gary.
All right, let's see what we got here. Okay. I'm seeing if I have that. Yep. I've got the Where Monsters Dwell one, just making sure.
Double
Of course
check out.
you do.
Making sure Sal didn't lap me there. Okay, so this came from Dan, a Hyde Street Christmas issue. Chris needed a 3. I did find him another 3 alternate cover, but I will keep this one, and this will go in my Christmas box when I, display Christmas covers. So I'm happy to have that.
Did you have that cover already?
Yeah, I did, but that's okay because I like for Christmas issues. Sometimes I'll get a second cover. It was going to be for Chris, but I found him another one. Yep. This is the Teen Titans that I needed that I'd missed. I think it was number 17 that Dan found me, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, they didn't have the A cover when I got it. They had that one, and they had that like action figure kind of cover.
But you know, when I opened this cover, the A cover is in there because that's how they find them. So that's just fine. I'm just happy to have that book. And then I got this one. I probably have to show. This is that great Batman.
Oh, the glow in the dark one.
Yeah. So there's the. You know, it's not. I haven't made it glow, but it will glow with little bats on it.
Nice.
I'm missing Swamp Thing 5. Swamp Thing 5 is a really good book.
And I didn't take that off because it's going to be your book, so it's your decision. But that little paper thing that's on there, you can't take that off. Turn off. I checked with CGBC before because they had that on a sketch cover I was doing. They said no, you could tear it off. It doesn't affect the grade.
And I wonder
don't rip the rest of the book.
Send it in. If you send it in to be graded with that, do they keep it on there or do they take it off? That would be interesting.
I don't know that. I didn't ask, but I know that the only reason they put that on there is to protect the cover, covers when they're doing the printing. So CGC at least doesn't really count as part of the book. You can pull it off and it doesn't matter.
So I commissioned a book to be done by one of our local artists that shows up at LotCon.
Oh, this is pretty good.
Her name is Mina Grover, and her site is Mina Meany Art, and I think it's MENAMEANY Mina Meany Art. And anyway, she is just fantastic, and it's kind of funny. She loves drawing women, but she loves drawing boobs. That's her thing. She's a little petite thing, but loves drawing boobs. So I said, you know what? I'm going to commission you to do a character, and I'm going to give you all the boobs you can handle. And it was Power Girl.
Yeah.
So there's her Power Girl. And I showed this to Dan. He was really impressed. He was like, "You did that with pencils?" And yeah, that's colored pencils.
Colored pencils, yeah, it's fantastic. The coloring is just
isn't that great? The shading. Look at the shading on the cape.
Mina did a hell of a job. Now
the thing that's throwing me off is the fact that her face looks like Brad and Chucky.
That's all right.
But the rest of it's great.
It does have like the big anime eyes and the kind of anime.
Well, that's her style. That's Mina's style, and it's very cute. She's got stickers and things like that. She's made up with her characters, and she's just really really creative and really fun. So because I had commissioned it, last year at some point I commissioned it, and she had done a few versions and it wasn't working out. She wasn't happy. She just wanted me to be patient, and she did. And so she gave me a bonus thing, and then her husband Keith got me this sticker that says "Disapproved by the Comics Code Authority."
Nice.
And we'll remove that and see why it was disapproved. So she said, so this is what she did. She said, "These are the biggest breasts she has ever drawn." So I have that distinction. There we go. Yep. So, and I told her, I think I told Dan this too. I'm a person that likes to keep my books in. Yeah, I hear that, Richard. I'm a person that likes to keep my books in good condition, but damn, I want to motorboat that. So, but Mina,
awesome job.
Such a great.
Check out her site.
Yeah, Mina Meany Art. She was
really nice. I talked to her too.
She's fantastic. Her and her husband Keith and her son Wes, just good people, and they set up at LotCon every year. And so she, like I said, she's. I think our friend Liz is getting a Catwoman done by her. So she's open for business to do commissions. I'm not sure if she's setting up at LotCon or not this year, but Mina Meany Art, and she is a wonderful lady. Support her, and like I said, colored pencils on these, pretty awesome. So good for her.
Yeah, definitely good stuff there.
All right.
Hey, I forgot to ask you, Gary. Do you remember last week when you showed off a copy? I forget the name of it. It was Hello Darkness with the Morgue.
Yes.
Do you still have a copy of that at your store?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's Hello Darkness 10.
Hello Darkness 10.
So
Yeah,
you're going to
that's it.
start collecting more covers?
I'm gonna have to do it.
I think so too. I know there's a great Batman one. I think it was Batman miniseries that had a morgue cover. There's
Yeah.
but I think that would be a subset for you to start collecting covers from the morgue.
What about Morg, the character that was the real Dick Herald of Galactus? There was a Herald of Galactus that was named Morg, who was just all the other heralds, former heralds, hated him.
Nah, it's got to be in a morgue.
But that was MORG, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was MORG.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he needs stuff. The morgue cover I want is, I think it's Mystic 23 or 26 maybe, or 27. Oh man, and it's got a cadaver on a slab grabbing a dude, and it says "not dead enough." Yeah,
Nice.
so great. And he's in the morgue. But yeah, there you go, Sal morgue covers.
I'll text you tomorrow and see if it reminds you to check next time you're there.
Yeah, please do, and I'll look and see if it's there. But it's Hello Darkness 10.
Hello Darkness 10. Okay, very good.
All right. Well, I would say this wraps this show up for the night, ladies and gentlemen. Please stick around for Uncle Gary's showcase. What is the keyword again?
Valor.
Valor.
Oh,
Issue 20, Mystic issue 28.
Isn't it a great cover?
Yes, I'm looking at it now. That's
Mystic 20. I'd like to see it. And it's not a cheap book. There's a copy that was beat to hell, and I just couldn't spend the money for a copy that was beat to hell. Is the one I ran into last year, but it's on the list.
Atlas, so it's
an Atlas. It's Marvel's Atlas years. Yeah, it's expensive.
Jamie, don't forget about the giveaway.
yes. I'm going to jump into that right now. I saw you, and I was like queuing in. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know we do a giveaway every month. This month, we're giving away 3 different X-Men miniseries: the Astonishing X-Men 1 through 4, the Amazing X-Men 1 through 4, and the last one that you're just giving away at your shop. But no, the Adventures of Cyclops and Phoenix. All you gotta do is go to our socials. Every one of our videos and this graphic alone are pinned at the very top. All you gotta do is follow on that social, and if you already are, like the video, like this, and then just tag other creators, other friends. You know,
everybody.
Every you have unlimited amount of tags you can make. Every tag is an entry. Richard, I already did you the one, so because you don't follow rules. But we've had some great reception from it. I think we're going to keep this route going as far as moving forward. But yeah, guys, we got more coming in. As soon as we're done with this one, we'll be announcing the next one.
All right, very good.
Very good.
Which will come the books that I got to give this.
Yes, nice.
And we've seen a few of them, and it's a big one. So it's going to be a good one. Well,
I'm still debating on if I want to keep it or not, because after I got it, I'm like, I don't know if I want to give this away.
You don't have to.
Everyone out there in chat, everyone watching at home, thank you so much for taking a little bit of your time on a Saturday night or on a replay. Spend a little bit of time with us, checking out what we got this week. Like I said before, put in the comments what your favorite book was this week or what you got. Let's start making some more communication, build this community a little bit more. But as always, I am Jamie J-Dub. You can find me right here. And you can find Sal, Dan, and Uncle Gary all in the same place. 3 days a week.
Right here.
Lurking in the bushes outside your house, waiting for you to go to sleep so that we can read.
Did you let Kevin back out of his room again?
I sent Dan a picture of a car that had a Sal's bumper sticker on it.
Oh, yeah. That was
Did it say meatball?
And Sal, did you get a picture? Do I need to send it to you?
I don't think I got anything from you. Not about a bumper sticker.
Yeah, you can send it to him.
I have to send it to.
Because I comment, I said, yeah, it's the meatball mobile.
Meatball wheel.
I was like, wait a minute.
Front and center.
Wait a minute. I was like, how the.
We'll make them big.
There you
go. Gary can make himself big, baby. Here we go. Yeah, all right. See, there it is. Going to Sal. Sending the picture to Sal.
All right. I'll check that out while we're doing the intro.
There we go.
For your showcase, man.
All right, Valor.
There you go.
Valor.
Valor. All right,
Valor.
ladies and gentlemen, stand by. Here it comes.
All right. Thanks for joining us on this, this wonderful segment for Uncle Gary's showcase. And code word is Valor, because what weekend it is. This is Memorial Day weekend, and the greatest valor we have is for the men and women who have worn the uniform of this country and have given their lives. Memorial Day is for those who have died in the service of the country. So we're going to show just a selection of war books, just to, show our appreciation. And, I hope you'll enjoy it. This is a more recent book, and it's a Men of War. This was a new 52 book. So I think that's really, with more, these were some of these were like weird war tales. Some of them were just modern warfare tale, but it was a new 52 title. So, a lot of times we show the real old ones, but I also wanted to show some of the new ones. I think that one's really cool.
That's a cool cover.
That's awesome. I like that.
Yeah, look at that with the
Is that say it was Sergeant Rock?
No, it's not Sergeant Rock. I guess it is Sergeant Rock. Look at that. It says it's Rock like you've never seen him before. So I'm going to imagine that this is a modern warrior that's in the Rock, family.
Sergeant Rock's grandson.
Yeah, or something like that. Again, really cool with the chevrons and the flag.
Yeah.
So the chevrons are on, I guess, almost all these covers, which is pretty cool. This looks like in a field of poppies. So that's just a really cool cover. And then threw a little bit of Frankenstein on there. So it had a lot of elements of, a lot of different. So it's kind of like in a lot of ways, it seemed like a weird war title. All right, we'll transition over to some selections of great Joe Cooper of the losers. Gunner, get off your butt and help us. What for? We're always on the losing end. So the losers had a rough way to go in a lot of it.
Yeah.
But Kubert, man, look at Kubert's Unknown Soldier here.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's a great cover.
Come on, we're talking, we're talking about the man at the top of his game. If it's a war book and Kubert did it, Kubert and Heath, but I think Kubert's the gold standard. Look at that, great.
That's awesome.
So our fighting forces transitioned to Unknown Soldier and gave he was starring in it, and then they just they renamed the book, kind of like our Army at War transitioned to Sergeant Rock.
Yeah.
So, and again, I mean Kubert just churning out covers, man. And
man, that's a great cover right there.
isn't that great?
That's fantastic.
I mean, the dude is up. Here's a really good Enemy Ace cover with von Richthofen. That's who it is. It's von Richthofen.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Hammer. I guess.
See, I knew that Gary was going to do it like this, because of Memorial Day, but I did also have that thought like, oh, yeah, that's when I remember when they made Mon El, when they made his name Valor.
Right. Well, Pam, I hope you're pleasantly surprised. Memorial Day weekend. And listen, for those of you that know me, you know damn well which cover I'm going to end with.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Yep.
That's just a great 4 battle tale.
Yeah.
Yep. See, is this much? This cover's amazing.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure who did that cover. It's not Kubert. It's a great cover. That's
Isn't
like
that one thing that's frustrating about a lot of these old books, especially the Golden Age ones, is there's so many of them that don't list the creators of it.
yeah.
Or they might list like the writer and the penciler, and that's it. Or they might not list anyone at all. And it's just, you're having to do research to find out who they are, and then hoping that it's accurate.
Well, that and the romance books the same way.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same way. Look how cool Frogman cover is.
Yeah.
Isn't that great? And these were reprints. So this was DC 20 Centers, but they were reprinting they were reprinting the other ones. And then they had a title that was Star Spangled War became a monster title, and they reprinted one of the classic covers here. Look how cool that is.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is awesome.
So yeah, so it would be military fighting monsters from the Star Spangled War books is what they turned into for a while. And they did this was a reprint of that series. A more recent book, and when we did the Sergeant Rock show that we did last year on the anniversary of D-Day. How cool was that, fellas? That we did the 80th anniversary of D-Day as a character of the week on that day. I appreciate y'all, being a part of that and having us do that. But this book was featured mightily. Sergeant Rock.
Oh yeah, that was a really good one.
Billy Tucci. Just
the covers he did for the interior was good, but the covers he did for that were just
this one right here I think is my favorite. My goodness.
Me too.
Look at that. So just fantastic. And they did it as historical fiction.
Mm-hmm.
I love my thank you, Pam. Yep.
But it was good with that one, like how it was historical fiction, but they fit it in with what actually happened.
Right.
It's not like the Tarantino movie Inglourious Bastards, where it ends with them gunning down Hitler and all these guys in the in the movie theater. Like, it's historical fiction, but it still fits in with what what was actually happening and going on. It doesn't change anything.
No, and Inglourious Bastards was a wonderful, man. That would have been great if it had happened that way. Same with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You wish that had been the ending. But
especially with that
right
time in Hollywood too. Yeah.
Here's a really cool PT boat, Captain Storm #1.
Oh,
Skipper, your leg's been blasted. It's only wood. I'll get another. that is great. How cool is that? So, oh man, I love that. I love that. That might be Heath. I think that's Russ Heath that did that.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway. Now, we're going to get into some GI Combat covers, and man, these are the tone covers, and this is one of the most famous ones.
That's
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
and Mike has all of these, right?
Mike's got a complete run of GI Combat.
Yeah.
GI Combat had about 20 or 30 issues in a row that were these tone covers. I'm working on them. They are just fabulous. Look at that one.
That's nice.
I like that. That's cool. I like the bazooka effect on the backside of the bazooka coming out too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Details like that I love.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Another great tone cover.
Because they don't do war books anymore. Everyone, I mean, they kind of do, but it's very niche now as opposed to how much they used to do.
You'll see them more in the independent titles. The Sergeant Rock and the Army of the Dead was more of a horror book.
Yeah.
I
didn't like that one as much.
It was okay, but just okay. How cool that is.
That's great.
Look, so that plane's been shot in half, and that's that gunner in the back half of it, and it's not going to end well for him. He's fallen to his death.
He's had better days.
Yeah, he's had better days. But, oh, what a cool. Now we go more modern.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that.
And interesting enough, on the 25 cent, now 25 cents or only 25 cents, they lost the word, usually they had words there, and for whatever reason, that 25 cent is naked up there. Yeah. So that's interesting.
How great would it be if you went to the shop one week and all the new books said only 25 cents? Be like, I'm buying every issue of every book. I'm buying every book that came out this week. Regardless, I don't even care if I read it. Like, normally, it's 25 cents. I'm buying it.
That would be the month the shop doesn't make its rent.
Yeah.
Yep.
There we go.
That's great.
Isn't that really good? There's a cool one on the back there.
Yeah. Nice.
So I'm working on my GI combats. I have quite a few more. These are some of the ones that I had acquired. Actually, Dan got a few good bit of these for me.
Oh yeah, I did get you a bunch of those at that
Yep.
bookstore. Someone went in after me and bought up all the rest of the war books and the westerns.
Yeah. Well, here's one of the last issues. I think it went to 287, I believe, and I have the last issue. But so I'm working on my GI combats, but those tone ones, and then I think it's 85 is the first haunted tank, and that's got some value to it. All right, so now we'll transition to last stack, our Army at War. So we'll give you some Sergeant Rock love. Here's 116.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's 123. Sergeant Rock first appeared in 83. So I'm lucky enough to have that. And I have 81, which is the prototype. For many years, 81 was considered the first appearance. And now prototype. But I'm lucky to have both of those. That's so good.
Oh, yeah, that is a good one.
I think that was one of our top covers. I think someone had that as a top cover.
It is, and it's Mike's top story, The Fighting Guns of Easy.
Is that the one where the whole story
the guns were telling the story?
Told the story.
Yeah.
Narrating.
Also had that too. I remember that one.
Yeah, which was kind of strange, but it was neat.
That's cool.
Yeah. Rescuing the
Here,
kids.
kid, hold these bands of ammunition.
Yep. Look at another great Kubrick cover.
Yeah.
Just the conflict on his covers, right? The hand-to-hand combat is always good. All right. Tell your men to surrender now, Sergeant, or you're a dead man. You know what to do, Easy. Don't surrender.
Start firing.
Yeah. On a double, Easy, check out this grave. Easy, where are you? Yeah, now looks like we've got a little supernatural thing going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still cool. Cool Kubrick.
Most of those was Kubrick, weren't they?
Yeah. Look at that. That's just so cool. I kind of dig the layout on this. It's kind of neat.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat. And then one of my favorite Rock covers. I was looking for the snowman one. I didn't see it where he's.
Oh, that is the snowman one.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Loving that. That is one of my absolute favorites, but I didn't find it in time. But this is one I really love.
Oh,
yeah.
So here he's fighting in World War I. Coffin has been uncovered here. I guess he had to dig himself a foxhole, and he moved the coffin out of the way. But I just think that is so cool. Look at his face. And then the one we're going to end on is how I started that we celebrate Memorial Day to honor all the fallen dead who wore our uniform and made the ultimate sacrifice, the men and the women, over all the countless wars that we've had for this country, and we owe them a great debt. This book to me that I'm going to show encapsulates that in just a single cover, all those emotions and the grimness of Rock's face. It says, yeah, me and Easy made it back, but this is what it cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That right there, that's Army at War 297. I own like three copies of this. I keep upgrading when I can get a better copy, and I think this is my best copy. It's pretty nice, but it's just like the dog tag with the bullet in it. But yeah, me and Easy made it back.
That's a powerful issue. Yeah. That's a powerful cover.
It is. This to me, that's why every Memorial Day I post this cover. And the grim look on Rock's face, the way he's clenching those dog tags, the men behind him that are, look like they're helping the wounded come back. So that's it, baby, right there. Memorial Day, all the veterans that served and gave the ultimate sacrifice. Thank you for our freedom.
Yes. Definitely.
And I gotta say, it's unrelated to comics, but right now, my dad is actually in Japan, and I've been as he posts his updates.
I'm seeing those posts; they're amazing.
Reposting on there. My dad owns and operates a World War II bomber, a B-25, which were the planes that were used by the Doolittle Raiders. And he is actually not just an owner operator of that. He is based, all the Doolittle Raiders are gone now, but they kind of made him an official kind of Doolittle Raider, and he manages all this stuff for their for them, even though they're all gone now, and was good friends with Dick Cole, who was the last surviving Doolittle Raider. He's done flyovers over Arlington, and right now he is in China. He's on a 10-day trip there with a documentary crew, and they are taking him around. And they filmed some stuff when they were in the U.S. with him and the plane, and now that he's over there, they're filming stuff where he's going all around China to all of these places where the Doolittle Raiders were at after the raid, because when they took off the boat, because this was a last minute thing, when Pearl Harbor was attacked, it was put together like that. And when they were going to take off, they're like, they didn't have enough fuel to do the mission. So they were literally gutting everything off the planes they could to get the weight down so that they could go do this raid. And one of the things was they didn't have enough fuel, and the pilots knew it when they left.
Yep.
They didn't have enough fuel for a return trip.
And they volunteered.
Yeah, they volunteered, and it was going, and you're going to go, and you're going to do the mission, and the plan was that they were going to, get somewhere else. They say, you want to make God laugh, make a plan. It didn't go that way. A lot of them survived. Some of them didn't, but some of they had to. Some of the planes got shot down. Some of them they had to crash. Some of them they had to abandon, and it all was around China. So my dad at the moment is in China, and they're going with this documentary film crew around all these places in China where the Doolittle Raiders crashed, or where they were at. A beach where some of them were crashed at. The one he posted the other day was a cave where there was this, old man that hid them in the cave from the Japanese soldiers that were coming around looking for him. They almost beat the guy to death, but he didn't give up where they were. And, the Japanese killed tens of thousands of Chinese people for giving aid to these Doolittle Raider pilots, and helping them. So I'm very anxious to see this documentary when it's finished, and talking with my dad when he gets back.
Where's it going to be released on?
I don't know. I don't think it has distribution yet in the U.S. Obviously, they're still filming it. He said it's a documentary series that they're doing, and then the episode that he's filming with them now is on the Doolittle Raiders, but it's this whole World War II documentary thing.
Well, and the Doolittle raid was important because after Pearl Harbor, it was such a body blow to us.
Yeah,
this was us trying to show Japan that we can hit you, you sons of bitches. And this was to bomb Tokyo, and that's what they did. And these pilots signed up for what they knew could easily be a one-way trip, because hopefully they would have gas to make it to the mainland China, and then you don't know what's going to happen. And the courage of these Chinese that helped them and protected them and hid them is pretty amazing, because like Dan said, they killed a bunch of them trying to do it.
They massacred tens of thousands of Chinese for giving aid to the these pilots. And one of the guys my dad talked to was it was his grandfather that was one of the ones that had helped the Raiders, and he kind of remembered it. He was a little kid, but he kind of remembered them. And, he's an old man now, but
it's going to be fascinating. I saw the pictures that you sent from your dad's trip, and it's amazing.
And if you notice the watch that he wears in it, That watch is the watch that Jimmy Doolittle was wearing while they did the raid. And it was also the watch that he wore when he was awarded, I think it was the Presidential Medal, when he was awarded, his medal from Eisenhower. And, the watch has been passed down, from, when he died, he passed it on to someone who passed on. And my dad, like he says now, like he's the caretaker of it. And eventually he'll find the person to pass it on to, because he doesn't want to give it to a museum and then have it just be something that just gets, it's on display for a while and then just gets shuffled along and, put in storage somewhere. So, and it's cool. I've held it. I've worn it, he'll, have people, let him wear it and take pictures of it. But, it's a pretty impressive piece of history. And there's a movie that came out years ago called Pearl Harbor. Overall, the movie it's a pretty big piece of crap. It's this, this love story. There's like Affleck and Josh Hartnett, it's this love story, and it's, but the actual attack on Pearl Harbor is pretty realistic in that. And when you see the stuff that, I think there was a scene in when there's like a little league game going on and these planes are flying over and the people are just kind of looking up because they had no idea this was going to happen. And, and there's scenes in it where the ships are bombed and they're sinking. And, even after the attack, when you see these, these soldiers that are trapped in these ships and they're filling with water, and they're trying to get them out and they're just, they couldn't. But you see during the attack that like some of these pilots got to off base airfields and managed to get a few planes in the air, and you think like, oh, that's Hollywood stuff. Like that actually happened.
Yep.
That's how it went. That of course when the Japanese came in and bombed, they went for the military base and were taking out the planes, and some of these pilots did manage to get to these private airfields that happened to have some planes that they were able to get up in the air to fight them off. So the lead up to, you can rent the movie and just fast forward past all the stuff leading up to that.
And they
did show the Doolittle raid at the end, which is
Baldwin was Doolittle, right?
Yeah, though Jimmy Doolittle in real life, Jimmy Doolittle did not look like Alec Baldwin. They they made him look a little better in the movie than he looked in real life. But I mean, he's a hell of a man. And it was accurate kind of in the movie where they're going on the plane and just gutting it and just throwing stuff off, because some of the people were telling them like, it's, they're not going to make it. And
yep, they're trying to reduce the weight. My grandmother's brother, so my great uncle was on, I think he was on the Helena that sank at Pearl Harbor, and his name was Bill Watson. And Bill, Bill, was always traumatized. His best friend died calling for him to try to save him, and he couldn't save him. He went under. And Bill wouldn't talk about Pearl Harbor for many, many years. And then toward the end of his life, his kids got him hooked up with some Pearl Harbor survivors groups and all that. And he told his story a little bit there. So he got some closure there. But my grandmother always would tell a story. Bill wouldn't talk about it. And they were, after the war, they were at some club or something. And there was a loudmouth talking about Pearl Harbor, and Bill didn't say anything, but he went up to him, walked up to him and slugged him.
Oh.
And the guy was on the ground. He said, "Don't you ever talk about it again. You weren't there."
Yeah.
So the guy was acting like he was there, but whatever he said was so off that Bill knew that he was full of shit. And Bill didn't say a word until after he slugged him and said, "Don't you ever talk about it again." So, yeah, that story always resonated with me, that she told him that. So she told that on him. But yeah, God bless those men and women,
absolutely,
that were there. So, and Dan, what your dad's doing is so cool that he's holding the legacy. And isn't there a picture he has where those guys have signed the picture?
He has. Yeah, I'll have to, when he comes back, I'll have him take a picture of it and send it to me. I can send you. It's a big poster, and it's signed by all the Doolittle Raiders. Obviously not the ones that that died in the raid, but all the ones after it. It's signed by every one of them, and it was somebody that that told him, a historian that was telling him, he's like, this is the only thing that's out there that is this is the only thing like this that's out there that's signed by all of them. Like, it's like you say, it's a one of one.
It's
and
a
he's
one
got
of
it framed, and it's in its house, and I imagine at some point, we don't like to think about our parents passing mostly, but it's one of those things, like it's one of those things that either belongs in a museum at some point or somewhere, or with someone that will appreciate the significance of it.
Well, your dad's carrying the torch, so that's why him having the watch and him having that is pretty cool. But yeah, I would agree with you that when your dad is no longer able to be the caretaker of that, or he passes on, that picture should go to a museum so people can see, because that's it, baby. That's it, man.
Yeah.
Even when I was a kid and we would go to these air shows, and the plane that he had,
you're welcome, and thank you for your service.
Absolutely. Yep.
The plane that he started off with, that he would take these air shows, he restored this UC-78 Bamboo bomber, which was the plane that was used in World War II to train pilots to be bombers. If you ever heard of the old show Sky King, it's the plane that he flew in that.
Yes.
And we would take that to air shows. Even back then, when we would be in uniform, everything on the uniform that my dad had would be from World War II. Not just the uniform, the underwear, the frames of the glasses he wore, the change in his pocket, everything was actually from then. Yeah.
That is just dedication to a wonderful wonderful historical knowledge that he has given to folks, and he is being as accurate as they come. So I think that's cool. I think that documentary is going to be amazing.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
And he's done all kinds of stuff too. Like he's done a flyover of the Indy 500. He's done flyover of the Super Bowl, of Arlington National Cemetery. He's done all kinds of cool stuff.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Good on him.
Yep. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we can go ahead and sign off for the night. Thank you for everybody for joining in the chat. Appreciate that as usual. We will see you next week. Next Wednesday is the podcast. Who's on for the podcast next week?
Should be me and Mike.
Yeah, I think it's you.
All right. Then on Thursday is Comic Character of the Week, which is going to be the Proud Star Brothers.
Yep, John or Jimmy, whichever one. I mean, we'll talk about both of them, but Warpath and Thunderbird.
Yes, that'll be awesome. That'll be an awesome show. And of course, next Saturday night we'll be here again, showing our weekly pools and pickups.
Oh yeah, that'll be after the first night of Big Lick. I should be here, as I don't think I'll be.
Don't we have a guest next week as well?
Yeah, I gotta message him to confirm he's still good for it, but it should be Brandon from Mind Comics on with us next week.
That sounds like a party then.
All right then, very good. All right, take care, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you all next time.